This is Del K. Birds, and this is the real spiel. Doing it after dark. Listen, I've had some serious revelations. 48 hours of revelations. And the merch is out. I ain't afraid of you ninjas. Hat wear. Even got it on the thigh. Come on now. I ain't afraid of none of you ninjas. Listen. There are people who cannot win. They can't move on. They can't recover. They can't even be happy. Unless you're losing. Let me tell you something. You know when you know that you own them? When you have real estate in their mind? Let me tell you. When their entire life is dedicated to your downfall. If you can't stop pursuing your ex, if you cannot stop talking about your ex, if you can't stop being triggered and re-traumatized by an ex that's not there, you are saying you want them back. You're saying you can't live without them. You're saying that they were your whole world. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. And listen, those people, sometimes what they do too is I call it move on ugly. Hey, listen, you know what fact of life? Not everybody is recoverable. You can't recover from every single person. You left some folks walked out of your life that you just never going to find a replacement for. There's only two kind of exes. There's the exes that you look back and you say, oof, that's the worst damn thing that ever happened to me. And there's the exes you look back and say, now you say it to yourself now sometimes. You don't say it to everybody else, but you say, I miss that person. I messed that one up. I wish I could get that one back. God, give me a redo. Yeah. Yeah. And some of us know, I'm trying to figure out a way to rock my hat in the new way. I'm not trying to be T.I. I'm trying to be D.E.L. Del, D-E-L-L. But yeah, but you know, some of us know when we're recoverable. That's right. I'm not a recoverable brother. I'll put it out there right now. You mess up and fumble me, you lose the Super Bowl forever. Well, luckily, back girl on the back end ain't a fumbler. She don't fumble. But I've had some fumbleitas in my past, boy. And some of y'all do too. And this is just some good advice. You know, drinking some man juice, having a conversation, showing off the merch, but saying to you, listen, the reason they're pursuing you, the reason they're trying to make your life difficult is they're not over you. Anybody that you're over, you don't want nothing to do with. You like, listen, man, I'm not trying to burn no energy, no time, no money. If you still want something from your ex, you still want your ex. Come on, let me preach that like TD Jakes. If you still want something from the devil, you still want the devil. Am I wrong? When you can say, devil, you can have it. You can have all your stuff. I don't want nothing to do with you. That's when you're delivered. You ain't delivered if you still got a handout for the so-called devil of your past. I'm telling you, some of you are just sitting up there lying to yourself because you can't recover from the situation you fumbled in your past. Let me tell you something. And as a man who's been demonized by many, loved by few, demonized by many. But no, listen, I've sat there and watched people literally grow old, grow gray, grow ugly, grow fat, grow tired, grow ugly, and still still sitting around there waiting for me to fall. I watched it. And let me say something to me about me. And I hope you can say it about yourself. I thrive at every level. Let me tell you. Let me explain like that. Sounds conceited, right? I'm sounding like I'm conceited. Now listen. I went to Africa, right? Got out of my last relationship, right? Basically walked away from house, walked away from everything, and said, I'm walking away from the country too. I went to Africa. It was only because of my little one. I said, you know what, man? She's like, Daddy, please come back. I have to come back. Right? And I came back, listen, as a man who's got a degree, who's done good things, I came back with nothing. Nothing. Okay? I'll give you a little story. When I came back, I couldn't even access my kids. I couldn't even access them. I had to visit them. First of all, I didn't have a car because I sold my 2 vehicles. And I came back. I got a brother from church hooked me up with a Santa Fe. And I don't know what year it was. Old Santa Fe, boy, I think it just got me from A to almost B. And I used to sit there, and it was when TikTok came out, and me and my daughters, we were making the funniest TikToks. We got TikTok famous, making funny TikToks because the only access I had to my children was sitting in front of my house. And let me tell you something. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment. I was living in a bedroom. I was renting a bedroom. Just renting a bedroom because I was trying to get back on my feet. I wanted to see my kids right away. Couldn't take them anywhere. Had all kind of legal obstacles all around me. And I thrived sitting outside of my own house. That I could not go in. With my own kids that I could not drive away from the place in front of my own house, and I thrived. Thriving is not about rising up in an intellectual or economic or academic scenario. Thriving is about having joy in the moments of right now. Because the only thing, I've said this before to you, only thing that's guaranteed is this moment. And if you cannot appreciate, if you cannot just glorify in the moment, some people think that they got over on you because, they feel that their moments are greater than yours. But I'm telling you right now, if you can thrive in the little things, if you can be happy in the little things, who could steal your joy? I mean, listen, I seen the Apostle Paul in Scripture singing psalms in prison. If you can thrive when everything is against you, if you can look at the world when the storm is blowing, say, I still got joy, you win. That's why I'm always going to win. That's why I'm always going to win. I always give myself a stress day, though. You got to do this because, or else you're just sitting around in denial. When you get a little, everybody gets bad news, right? I've had 24 hours, some hell of a news, boy. I had some hell of a news. I sat there and I said, okay, I'm going to give myself 24 hours to muddle and sit in it for a minute. And then I'm going to get up and thrive. This is the key to life. And this, you got to look the world in the face. And it's funny because when I went through all that, God made sure that my merch arrived, and I remember my slogan, I ain't afraid of you ninjas. Listen, I sat in my mess for a minute. I didn't clean my house. I didn't wash my dishes. I took a shower, though. Made sure I'm straight. But I just said, you know what? The house kind of messy right now. I'm afraid to show it to you. I'm going to sit here, and then I'm going to get up tomorrow and thrive. I broke out my best bottle. I said, baby, there's never been a time to open you like now. And I'm going to thrive. Some of us want to run. Some of us want to quit. Some of us want to give up. I'm telling you right now, don't let them see you sweat, baby. Glorify the moments. I went and got myself a little haircut. Went put on the merch. Broke out the best set of scotch I had up in that liquor cabinet. Yeah, that's right. That's what that's for. Drink and be merry. That's Bible now. And I said to myself, let me tell my cyclopses, we've got to thrive. Everything that is coming against you in your life is positioned to push you to the extremity of looking past your limits and saying, my limit is here. God, take me to new limits. I'm here to tell you that my limits have been tested for my entire life. My limits have been pushed, and at every time he's taken me to new limits. Every time he's taken me to new limits. The people that saw me at 20 didn't think I'd make it. Saw me at 30, didn't think I'd make it. I was doing okay in my 40s, but at the end of that situation, they didn't think I'd make it. But here I am, 25 again, thriving. I'm here to let you know, you can thrive past the moment of, I would say, the moment when your self-esteem looks you in the face and checks you and says, what have you done? Have you lived the life you're supposed to? Me personally, just a little bit of a, I would say, self-therapeutic session we're having right now. But me personally, I would say that I made a lot of great decisions in my life. I've made some great decisions without counsel. Can I tell you a few? Come on. I grew up with a single mom, had me as a teenager. She didn't understand what was going on when it came time for my basketball scholarship. I'm the first person in my family to go to university. First person in my family, in my generation, to go to university. In Trinidad or here, I'm the first. I made that decision. Playing basketball, I chose that myself. I got into the NBA. I'm the only person in my family to ever get an opportunity to play professional anything. Okay? I came out. I'm the only person in my family in Canada who was able to secure an opportunity to be a policeman. Only person in Canada to play for the national team in basketball. Only person in my family. I'm talking about in my family in Canada. I'm talking about in Canada, my family, who has the capacity to build a ministerial life. Listen, I made some great decisions in my life, right? But I've made some doozies too. I've made some doozies. Most of those decisions that I made was choosing individuals to, walk the path with. I walked the path with, a couple of frogs. I had a couple of frogs, walked the path with a couple of frogs. So, every now and then you walk with the wrong frog, you get warts. But I'll tell you right now, those frogs are rich because of me. I made them old frogs rich. And they still walking around saying, Ribbit Dell, Ribbit Dell. Them heifers is rich. I could say I've made millionaires. I've made at least 2 millionaires, boy. They walked and squawked, took them from nothing, and now they walking around living in the big house. I just want to be a blessing to somebody. I'm putting it this way. You got to look at it a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Some of us think, oh, so-and-so took from me and took from me. No, man. I gave them people stuff. Them people rich now. Them people happy. Come on. Them people happy. All my kids alive. They're thriving. They're doing good. One's a little knucklehead. He got a little problem, but I'm fixing him. But the rest of them, they doing just fine. So I'm not going to dwell in any level of sorrow. And I'm letting you know that no matter what the news is, no matter what the situation is, God's always going to send you a Batgirl on the back end. God's always going to send you something to make your eyes go, Lord have mercy. Thank you, Jesus. And all them orangutans from your past, blonde-headed, blue-eyed orangutans from the Caribbean, God going to put them orangutan and let them climb trees, baby, as you walk off into the sunset in your humble moments. I might not be as rich as the individuals who I have helped in my past, because they got most of my stuff. They got most of my stuff, and they're coming from the rest. But I'll tell you what they can't take. They can't take my moments. This is Del K. Burton. This is The Real Spiel. Be blessed in the moments. And I ain't afraid of you, ninjas. Get the merch. Get the merch. Subscribe. Become a member. Get the merch.